Welcome to Business Instruments. We are extremely excited to be invited by EPM and PMI to Innovation Week and greatly appreciate the opportunity to present Thrive Projects. Thrive is a cloud-based SaaS project management tool focused on actionable information at the moment of inspiration. Our goal is to create a great user experience to get projects done. When it's convenient and easy for people to work together, it becomes second nature. We want to create value for not only the project managers, but also the users and the stakeholders through a fast, simple, and intuitive tool that makes it easy to collaborate effectively, anywhere, anytime. We started with data analytics and visualization at the core, giving the users all the important project metrics on one screen. Working on the same thing doesn't mean you're working together. There is a difference between cooperation and collaboration. Collaboration is critical for projects and initiatives within a company and across different departments to achieve the larger organizational goal. Thrive Projects is a tool that provides actionable information through data visualization to tell the project's story. In other words, provide the special effects, but provide them with a purpose. Thrive makes actionable information available to people when it matters, empowering them with the information they need to own their tasks and projects, helping them generate new ideas, insights, and innovations. Thank you.
Hi, we're going to do a quick demo of some of the key functionality that we believe makes Thrive unique for project managers. All right, so here in your project's homepage, you're going to notice that you can do several different ways to view your list of projects. We can do a view list, which is going to give you every project that's going on, start, end date, overdue task, hours, and budget. But if you're looking for more of a visual to kind of have your data tell you a story with what's going on with the project, you can look at the graphs view. If I just click on one of these chevrons, you're going to see that it's going to pull up everything that's going on, completed tasks, your project health, what kind of tasks are open, active, and review, any issues, if there's any costs associated going on with your project, or even the total hours and the actual hours. If we click on that project, we're going to go right into, this is the actual project's overview page. So what we try to do with the user experience is make this very simple to understand and navigate through and make sure that the users don't get trapped up on any kind of functionality. With Thrive, we really wanted to focus on making sure that your data tells you a story. We understand that a lot of people, the visuals kind of help navigate or keep track of what's going on. Kind of allows you to track and monitor every little bit of your project on the fly, anywhere at any time. Not to mention that, but anyone can kind of click on one product or project and kind of see what's going on just by using the visuals. So our main goal within Thrive, really besides the user experience, was to be able to allow a team to be able to jump into Thrive and be able to hit the ground running, so to speak. We take pride in the fact that we believe we can train most teams within an hour and be able to successfully use Thrive to its fullest. For instance, if we come into just our project's home page and we want to create a project, we just go right up to the green button and a project name, say. We can create a project from a template. If we choose to, we can select our start date and the project type. So meaning if we have different organizations, have different departments, they can customize these projects as they see fit. So your marketing department can use it in a different way, your IT, your operations side. We're going to go ahead and use the default. We're going to click on that. And basically this is what's going to happen. It's going to create this for you. We're going to be able to, from right here, add our team members that we have, add a task if we want. And this is, again, just trying to make it very simple for the project manager to kind of, start up a project and get it moving very quickly. And that way they can focus on the things that really matter. So we're going to go right up here to add team members. From add team members, I can really select whoever I want on this specific project. Kind of kick them in as needed. So we've got our team members already installed right there, and if we want to go ahead and start adding in some tasks, we're going to come in and you're going to see this feature, and our ability on Thrive is to be able to do or create new tasks and issues throughout the tool itself. Understand that a lot of different people create tasks or use a tool in different ways that they see fit. You know, we really wanted to make sure that however it best serves you, that you're able and capable of doing that. We're not looking for, you know, our software to determine how you should use it to manage your projects. Instead, we want you to tell it how to do it. So we got in here, we're going to create a couple tasks. I can assign it to the appropriate parties. Add new team members. We choose the start, the end date, maybe any different priorities, and the projected time. And then you're going to see this Create and Create Plus a couple different ways. For us, the Create Plus was just an avenue or a way for individuals that wanted to create a series of tasks right there in a row and be able to just keep this window open so they could just, you know, pound out all these tasks and be able to just go on with their business. So, and you'll see in the background that task that we just created, it moves into the actual overview page, and this Create Task window stays open. And I'm just going to create a bunch of sample tasks so we have some stuff to work with. And again, if we just hit the Create button, what you'll notice is that window disappears. It populates in the task menu, and we understand what's going on. You'll see the summary task now has an open. We've got 4 tasks open. And then we can come up and select I'm done, and now it's going to hide that, and now we're looking at what our project home is going to look like. So you'll see this within the task window, and this is what I was referring to in regards to the ability to create tasks in a lot of different methods. So I could come up to the task widget. I can go ahead and, you know, click on that. It's going to open the task home view. If I wanted to actually just click on the icon itself, it's going to bring me into that same deal. So again, just flexibility to get to the things you want when you want them, and the ability to customize as you see fit. So right here, you're going to see all our tasks. I can create tasks. What it's going to do is going to bring up that same menu that we just had. I can create them there, or I can even go back to our overview, and if I just click on the little sprocket right here, I can add tasks right from there as well. Again, giving you a lot of different options to move or create new tasks. Now the other thing you'll notice is these little dialog boxes within your task. I can actually move these their status or change their status here just as well as I can on the task home view. I can move them to active, to open, to in review, anything of that nature. Or when I move into the actual task, I can select it this way as well. Again, just another function that we added that allows individuals to maybe, hey, I want to be able to change the status of these from the overview page and actually not selecting them and then moving in. If we actually select it onto the task itself, this is what it's going to look like. From there, we can do several different things within the task. We can create subtasks if needed. We can provide a checklist to kind of, hey, if there's a lot of key things that need to happen within this task before it's completed, I can issue those out. So if there are important things that maybe don't garner the start and end date within that task, like a subtask, then we can use checklists to really just make sure that every little detail is being done within that given task. It may not have a start and end date, but we want to make sure that it gets done. So we go ahead and create them, and then if I wanted to just click on that, you'll see that it was completed and when it was. So just another way to kind of keep track or manage everything that's going on within that given task. Another key functionality that Thrive has that a lot of tools probably don't out there is the ability to manage both up and down. within Thrive. So if you're looking to go from maybe a traditional PPM waterfall approach, we have that capability. You can do that from more of the Gantt charts, or if we wanted to even change within a agile approach, we have a planning board that can be chunked out into sprints. Within Thrive, you can actually customize the tool to actually run both waterfall and agile for any projects that you want within. And so we're going to jump into a little bit of that. First, we'll start with the traditional waterfall approach within the Gantt chart. Basically, if you just hit on the icon, we can go to that, or if you're in your task itself, you're going to be able to click on the Gantt chart, and it's going to show you what's going on with there. And so again, it's just another way to make this a little bit easier in regards to creating or customizing your tool and the way you want to manage your projects. So within that Gantt chart, we're going to click on the icon this time, you're going to come up and it's actually going to show what's all going on within your project. With our Gantt chart, we really wanted to make it very effective and easy to use. For instance, if I wanted to drag these out, saying that maybe this particular task is going to take over several days, I can do that. I can move these around if I want to change the start and end dates. If I wanted to make subtasks, create new tasks. So for the sake of just kind of giving you a rundown of our capabilities within our Gantt chart, if we were to just add a new parent, we go in, just say new task 1. I can assign it to whoever I need to. I can select the status if I want, and then the projected hours. And then you're going to see this populate in, and then we can extend this out. Now the other thing we can do as well is we can create dependencies based off of this. We can create subtasks, and even we have the ability to check in on those tasks if we want to find out in more detail. For instance, if I want to come in here and just create a subtask, I come in, and let's label this subtask 1, assign to, let's say it's my status, maybe in review, and then I can change the time period, the days, how long I think it's going to last, and you're going to see that pop in there. And you'll notice that this adjusts accordingly. And then if I wanted to, I can even create dependencies coming out this way by just grabbing this one and dragging a line. And you'll notice that one is affected. And the beautiful thing about Thrive's Gantt chart is our ability to, if something happens and maybe there's some unforeseen circumstances that maybe result in a project or a piece of that project kind of getting pushed back because maybe something that we weren't expecting happened, we have the ability to change or move these around, and if you'll notice, it affects the other one and it drags it. So it's a great way for, if you're running a waterfall approach of, this item or this task has to be completed before this next one kicks off. It's a great way for you to manage those, keep track of what's going on. If those unforeseen circumstances or issues come up, we can adjust those accordingly, and it sets everything else up and running without us having to do a lot of extra work. Again, just another way for you to manage your projects, your task, and make it convenient for the person doing that. And you can create as many subtasks as you want, and subtask of subtask. Again, we can move these around, and you'll notice the color it will start to change as far as the amount of hours are put in or how far the completion is. You'll be able to tell that as well. We can format by day, week, month, team member. If I'm only trying to choose or look at what's going on within particular teams or particular members, I can do that and find out what they've got on their plate and where they are with those projects or those tasks just by using my Gantt chart. And then if we needed to maybe do a double check or we needed to look into more of the details, that little eyeball there, if I click on that, it's going to open that task up itself, and we can kind of jump in and find out any description, if I needed to change the start and end date this way, any kind of risk or complexity and that kind of stuff. So just another way for us to go in and create those tasks and manage that in that more waterfall methodology. All right, the other way we have for the Agile users is the planning board. From here we can really kind of set up our sprints accordingly. When you come in, the first thing it's going to ask you to do when you're creating a planning board is you may need to adjust your time scale from days to weeks to months. You'll have that ability to be able to do that. So we're going to create a sample planning board. We can set up our start and end dates if we want to start a little bit back, saying, we got going with this a few days ago. We want to get this done by the end of the month, or if we're running 2-week sprints, we can do that. We can create, and there's that create and that create plus. If we want to create a bunch of planning boards and use it that way, we can. And again, you're going to see within Thrive, we really wanted to make sure that your data is visible and that you can see that in every aspect of Thrive. You're always going to have that data as a visualization, so you can really track and monitor without really digging in. You're going to see kind of that overview of what's going on with your project. By viewing that, we'll be able to hit the view graphs, and I'm going to upload some stuff real quick, and then we can kind of go back in and kind of track that. So basically all we would do, and within the planning board, if you're running that sprint and you need to be able to create tasks or create issues, we have that capability right there of just being able to add on the fly within that planning board, or we can show the backlog. And what that's going to do is all the tasks that we've created already are going to show up there. And what we can do is we can drag and move these around or move them over where they're at in the status. As we need to. And again, we can click on those. We can find out who's assigned to. If I click on it, it's going to bring up that task itself if we needed any more detail. And then, if we wanted to, we can change our end dates, the status, and then we can kind of see what's going on within Thrive with that data visualization. Our total hours, if we put in the hours, it's going to give you the actual, the projected hours of what's going on there when we have a burn down chart. So anyone that comes in, they can see what's going on at all times within that sprint if they need to. Just another way that, that Thrive allows those project managers to manage up and down when needed. All right, when we come back to that planning board, you're going to see the one that we created with our end dates. If we're running that sprint and everything that's attached towards that. Again, if we can create as many as we want, just by clicking on it, it's going to bring that in and it's going to show what we needed to see. And then if we needed to create any issues, we could throw those in there as they occur. So on issues, very similar with the task and how you can create them. If we go to the overview page, it's going to be the same thing like the task feature. If we want to, just knock those out on the fly, we could come over to the issues tab. I can hit on that sprocket and be able to create right from here. You're going to see the same create and the create plus feature. I can assign those. I can issue those a priority, projected hours if I think that it's going to how it's going to be. I can even assign these to a planning board if needed. Or I can go into the issues tab, just like the task tab, and create them right from there. And just for a sample, we'll go ahead and you're going to see that issue. And if we came back into the planning board, you're going to see that pop back in within the sample issue. Within Thrive, our goal was that for each organization, what we found was a lot of organizations were using multiple tools depending on the department in which was working. And what we wanted to be able to do was have one tool or one tool resource be able to come into an organization and be able to work with maybe marketing or IT or operations. And what that meant is that we understood that certain departments would use certain functionality and others wouldn't. Case in point, maybe timesheets or expenses and materials, or maybe marketing's using invoices and vice versa. And so we wanted the ability to have Thrive be customizable for each department. Meaning is that you could pick and choose the pieces that you're going to use and hide the other ones. And within that, what we wanted to do was, if there was things that you really focused in on, and these are the core pieces that you're really going to be monitoring and tracking, we wanted you to be able to do that. And everything else, we wanted you to be able to hide or get rid of, so to speak. And so, for instance, if you wanted to, burn down charts not something that you're going to be using, we can remove that from, and mind you, this is the overview page of that sample demo project. I could hide that. I could close that widget out, so no longer would I be needing that. If issues are the same thing, I don't have the need for that. I could customize that down. If it's something that, oh wait, maybe I do need that, we would be able to go back in and you'd just be able to project snapshot or issues or anything like that, we would be able to add those back. Not only could you get rid of those issues, but you would be able to customize those as you see fit. Maybe the burn down chart is more important, or the discussions of what's going on is more important to me, and that's the things I want to focus on. So each of those widgets is customizable. It could be moved around, it could be hidden. You could pull them in depending on what you need to see. Now that's true for not only in the overview page of for the project itself, but also the icons that you base those off of here on the left. So for each project, you can kind of customize these if it's something that you're not going to use. So if it's saying, we're not going to use requirements or planning board, or maybe we're just going to use the Gantt, I can remove these icons off of there by going to my project settings and selecting how I want my project type or project structure to look like. So by going over to maybe product planning or marketing, I can select that, and what you're going to notice is when I go back that these are going to disappear. Notice the icons on the left, so now we're working with just requirements, tasks, maybe some different things that I didn't have. The planning board's gone. So again, I can customize the tool to make it effective for my group, my department, or the way that I want to manage my projects. We think, again, that goes back to we want the users to tell the software how they're going to manage their projects, not the other way around. We don't want you to have to use a tool that's going to tell you how you have to do it if it doesn't work for you. And it gives that flexibility for an entire organization to really utilize Thrive and make it work for them. We're going to go back in and we're going to select back to the default. That way we have all of our icons back there. And the project type or project structure, you can go and create as many as you want. And so if you have certain projects that are going to require certain things and you want to make sure that those things are getting done, you have that ability. All right, the last thing that we really feel passionate about Thrive is for teams to really collaborate and communicate within a project. And so that was a big overall theme for what we wanted to do. We wanted to have constant communication within team members without the noise. Meaning is we wanted to be able to, if we emailed or we wanted to chat on a particular project, we went ahead and built that into Thrive. So we have several different ways that you can communicate within a project or what's going on or a status that kind of really just keeps everyone focused and on task, but also keeps the individuals that are managing or tracking that up to date at all times. And so what we went in and done, or what we did, is we built in a systems alerts function. Basically, with anything changes, you have an ability to have an email notification or a SMS if you want it on your phone, and it's going to ping you when something happens as far as a status changes, or if something closes or gets moved into a review. You're going to have instantaneous access. So you're having access to that data, or somebody puts in a comment about why something is taking longer than it should. You're going to have access to it, and you're going to be able to respond directly to it. If something comes through email, I can respond through that email, and it's going to store it directly back into Thrive. So you'll see as we go in here, and if we have, let's say, we click on task 1, I could come in, I can make a comment down at the bottom. And whoever's assigned to that is going to get a notification that there was a comment made. If someone else comes in, they can reply from it from an email. You'll also notice that they will have an alert set up that will ping saying a status has changed. And you can kind of see every different status change through the system alerts. I can comment directly through those, and it stores it within the system. Again, just easy ways for us to keep in constant contact within team members and kind of find out and track what's going on within that particular item. The other thing we have is we went ahead and built in a chat within Thrive. If there were times that we wanted to really find out what was going on but didn't necessarily need an email, or we just wanted to get a quick status update, we're going to find out who's online. I can ping those directly, send them just a little bit of email. And so our chat feature really is just another way for you to communicate within Thrive. So within our email, we integrate with Google, we integrate with Outlook. It's a very simple process. All we need to go is into our administration and click on users. We could click on whoever the person we're trying to add in, and then you're going to see our settings. Here we could type if we're adding users and they are particular to the marketing department or the IT. We can select their their project type or their structure, which modules they're going to be needing, but also the communication and tools. If we want to integrate with Google, IMAP. If we want alerts, how would we want them to be done? And so you have the email, the SMS, and the system alerts on there. And just makes a very quick and easy way to get back to or get yourself set up or any new users. All right, the other thing is if we had, just like the comments part, we also have a discussion section. If anything's going on within that project that we need to have and bring people on, I can come into here, I can click on this, I can add a new discussion, and then I can actually attach who I want to be involved in this discussion. If it's team-wide and I want to have everyone in there, I can do that, or I can also have only specified users. So, maybe I'm tracking a project and I need to find the status of everyone within the team. I can go ahead and create that on the fly and send that out to my entire team. Or if it's somebody like, hey, I need to find what's going on with the lead and where his team is at, I can send him a message or a discussion only for him, and then he'll be able to reply back. It's just a great way and a very effective and easy way to maybe get everyone on that team to kind of find out what's going on or statuses, and it tracks and stays within Thrive, so you have a great understanding of where you're at all times. Again, it all goes back to our goal of making Thrive very easy to use with a great user experience, but also being able to track and manage your projects and communicate through your projects the way you want. And that's just another way that we wanted to have the flexibility for each user to use it the way they deem necessary or their organization needs necessary. Well, that's it for our quick tutorial. We appreciate the time, and if you have any questions or would like to learn more about Thrive and Business Instruments, feel free to visit us at thrive.bi/projects. Again, we appreciate the time and look forward to hearing from you. And as always, we'd love to hear how we can make your business thrive.